Sienna for therapies, we started out the same way as we did for my son Matteo, who was diagnosed with autism. We did OT and we did speech. And unfortunately, you know, kids with autism are so different. What worked for Matteo hasn't worked for Sienna. She was having meltdowns with the speech therapy. We weren't getting anywhere at all. OT, you know, was good, but she needed something extra. She just wasn't really connecting. So my OT actually mentioned about CDI, so we looked into it and we spoke with you guys and it seemed like it'd be a great fit. Sienna does group and she does clinic. We found that the combination is essential and important to do both. The group side of things has got her to not only be aware and comforted by kids around her, which previously she was at a daycare centre and couldn't stand people near her. She just didn't want people in her space. She's now coming to terms with people in her space and also interacting with them. This is something that was unheard of before. And if she didn't do group, she wouldn't have this because she'd be one-on-one with the therapist. So it is fantastic with the group side of things. She also needs the clinic because then they can hone into her skills one-on-one and go, right, this is what we need to do. No distractions, and she's in it. So she's really progressing. So we're literally doing a balance of 50% group, 50% clinic at this stage. So the differences we've seen in Sienna since starting, basically I would describe Sienna at the beginning that she was in her own little bubble. We called it Sienna Land. So she would pop out now and again and sort of interact, but nothing substantial. Eye contact wasn't there, wasn't saying any words, wasn't really interacting in any way, shape or form. We just had a glimpse every so often, and she'd have her giggly little self, but that was it. So since doing the program, we started out doing a 5-day-a-week intensive program, and that in itself made such a huge difference. Just even after the first term, she was making so much more eye contact. She was sort of pulling you towards objects that she wanted to play with or handing you things that she wanted to use. Progressed into little words now and again. And she can say them now, they're in there. It's just a matter of unlocking. And she's spending more time in what I would call, everybody else's world, not just her own. So massive difference. So the services that Sienna's been going through at CDI has not just affected her, but it's affected the entire family in that, we can all communicate. There's less frustration. We know what she's what she's going through. Matteo started interacting with his sister. They basically didn't know each other beforehand. They were just not complete strangers, but they didn't interact. It's really changing the family dynamics. Everybody has got a sense of, we understand each other more now, whereas before, she's in Sienna Land doing her little thing and she was happy and content, but you want everybody on the same page. So it's really starting to bring people together. I see Sienna's future now, before she was diagnosed, as sky's the limit. She knows everything. We know how smart she is inside. Before, we didn't know that she got things. We didn't know what she understood. Now we can go, okay, we've ticked this box. She can do this activity quite easily. Whereas before you were able to communicate with her, there was no way you could know that she had this potential inside her. We still are unsure of the complete future and how much, we can unlock and what we can find. But that's what the process is, and that's why we're continuing with CDI and loving the process. We're really enjoying it. And her therapists are just remarkable. She's ticking boxes. She's literally ticking boxes going, she knows so much. She knows much more than what we thought she did. So yeah, it's really comforting.